Welcome back here on the Senior Network. Jim, we were talking about at the break about when folks you find come to visit you compared to when they come to see an attorney like Brian. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Lately, just this month, I've had 3 or 4 people that have made arrangements with an attorney, set up an estate or a trust or something like that. Well, I say estate, that's probably not the right word, but set up a trust and some planning.
Sure.
And then they come in. I seem to be the final nail in the coffin, so to speak. I don't like to use that, but you know,
Right.
I'm the final one. That's the last thing they think they need to do. And certainly if they come to me first, I always say, you know, have you talked to an attorney? I don't really delve into what kind of finances they have because it's really none of my business, but I throw out some scenarios. Do you have life insurance? Do you have money put aside? Do you have homes that you have to think about? Do you have someone on your checking account? What about power of attorney? Because it's amazing. Everybody that is around here, most everybody's very educated, been around the block.
Sure.
But then they come in and say, well, you know, I'm power of attorney for mom. And I have to say, well, you know, mom's deceased, so that doesn't mean anything anymore. And that's one of the things that really, I know they know that, but they forget about that.
Yeah.
If I can suggest a possible reason why they come to you after seeing the estate planning attorney is because we remind individuals, a lot of times they'll have life insurance policies that they'll have paid to a child, one of 4 children. Well, I'm going to have that life insurance going to be paid to the oldest child, and they're going to use that money to pay for the funeral. And then we explain how, well, you know, the life insurance company just issues a check in the name of that child. If they decide to use it for the funeral, well, hopefully that's what they do. But should they choose to keep that check for themselves, which they shouldn't do, but there's nothing that prevents them from keeping it, that you should be careful about that. And you might want to consider paying for your funeral in advance so you don't have to worry about that life insurance being used to pay for your funeral. So that could be a reason why individuals would rather have it set up so they don't have to worry about whether or not that life insurance policy is going to actually be used for your funeral when they make it payable to a child.
Something else that I do a lot is I have the people come in and they'll make me the irrevocable beneficiary and owner of their life insurance policy. Now the reason for that is because if they go, say, Medicaid, and you know, if they have to go into assisted living, they're going to go into Medicaid, they're going to get some bureaucrat that's sitting there behind the desk and they're going to say, you need to cash in that life insurance policy and then go pay for your funeral. Well, if you have a $10,000 life insurance policy and you go cash it in, you know, maybe you get $5 or $6 grand. Why waste that $4,000? So you can come to me, I go to the insurance company, we make me irrevocable owner and beneficiary. When the time comes, I get paid, and then any balance goes back to the family or to the estate, however that's set up. But it's much easier. Never, ever, ever cash in a life insurance policy. Never.
I agree.
I didn't even realize you could do that early.
Yeah, well, you'll get a lot of people. And, you know, here's the thing with Brian here and I'm here, we're local.
Sure.
We're not big corporations like LegalZoom or stuff that you find on the internet. You know, we're local, so that's who you talk to. And funeral service, just like legal service, it's all about the person next door.
Yeah.
When you walk into someone at the grocery store, do they know you? You know, the big corporations that are getting into funeral service, for instance, are just, they're destroying the personal service that funeral homes and funeral directors have built up over the years, and I just hate to see that happen. It's bad for business.
So you're seeing like just big mergers and buyouts and things like that?
Oh, they come in, they buy up they'll keep the same name, and you'll think that when you call this your local funeral home, you'll think that when they answer it, it's the same person, but you know, that money's going to Texas or Louisiana or Florida or Canada, or it goes out of state, believe me.
Yeah. But before we run out of time, Brian, you'd also mentioned, I think it's very important, that there's a lot of changes now, I think, with the VA and some laws.
Yes. So there's a lot of VA benefits, a lot of different types of VA benefits. There's mortgage benefits, there's medical health benefits. There's one benefit called aid and assistance. It's a much underused VA benefit. It usually helps with individuals trying to finance assisted living. For the longest time, VA benefits, they're available, and it pays a couple of $1,000s to help with that assisted living cost. And it was easy to qualify because you could transfer assets at the last minute.
Sure.
VA has just issued new rules that will be effective October 18th that prevent individuals from transferring their assets and giving them away so they can qualify for this VA benefit. It's much like Medicaid has a 5-year look back that prevents people from giving their assets away. VA now has a rule that is a 3-year look back that prevents the same thing.
Great information. Thank you so much. Hold the thought. We need to take a break. This is the Senior Network. Stay with us. We'll be right back.